We're back.
And ready for action.
A new season. And new goals.
Everybody wants to be champion.
Bring it on.
Hello and welcome to Culham Motor Park in Oxfordshire for the opening round of the Maxxis ACU British Motocross Championship. The scene is set for another hard-fought campaign, which should be just as close and exciting as last year's season, which went down to the wire in both main classes. Here they come. Here at Fox Hill. Last season was one to forget for Ben Watson. Having competed in the opening round, he then missed the rest of the campaign due to injury. However, he's now fully fit and raring to go as he looks to make up for lost time.
So yeah, it's been a really long year recovering with Harrison Ross. We've been putting in endless hours of physio treatment and just getting myself back to 100%, and yeah, now I'm definitely feeling back to normal on the bike, and even off the bike with walking around and stuff. Yeah, I don't notice anything in my day-to-day lifestyle, so yeah, I'm well ready and excited now. I didn't obviously do much in 2016, so yeah, the only thing that's changed majorly is we've gone from Husqvarna to KTM, so it's pretty much the same bike, but yeah, a few little different bits, nothing I can really notice when I'm riding, so I'm pretty happy it's like that, because obviously I missed a full year, so it was nice to come back to getting on a bike that I felt comfortable with straight away.
Martin Barr's a veteran of the MX2 class, and last year was the closest he's come to winning the title. He's once again running in the colours of Build-Base Honda, and as one of the title favourites, he will be pushing to take top honours.
Last year was a bit up and down. Obviously going into my home round, Desert Martin, halfway point, I was leading the championship, and then I had a big crash there. But that's motocross racing for you. Anything can happen. It's up and down all the time. But I felt that when I got the Blacksall pits, that's when I really mucked up the championship, and I ended up fourth. Not where I wanted to be, but with plenty of moto wins and overall wins, I'm coming into this season, wanting to win the championship. Obviously there's 39 other riders on the line wanting to do the same thing, but it's just about being there every weekend. Each round counts, and you can't really afford to have a bad round now. And you've obviously the likes of Ben Watson and Mel Pocock and all the rest of the guys, and kids that were riding well last year can have a super winter and come out swinging and really keep you on your toes. So, but yeah, there's no reason why I can't win, and that's our main goal.
This year's campaign will be contested over 8 rounds, north, south, east and west, and even across the Irish Sea. Culham Motor Park is back on the British calendar following a long absence, and even hosted a World Motocross Championship round back in 2000.
Track looks good. I haven't raced here for a few years, but I've always enjoyed it. I've raced here since I was like 11 years old, so but it looks really good considering the weather and everything. They've done a good job with the track and left it hard so that it's not too soft. I think it's going to produce some good racing and loads of lines.
I've not raced here for a few years. It's always been known as a bit of a schoolboy track, but they've put an awful lot of work into this track and now brought it right up to date to a British Championship track. They've put a really good amount of time into it, and I generally think it's one of the better tracks on the circuit now that we get to race.
Love this track, really hard track going. Obviously it's my home track, so at the end of the day I should be good here. But it's rough, tough, and gets gnarly, and hopefully come away with a win.
it's a little bit slippery, and I think where it's had a lot of rain before, it's kind of settled a lot, and it's actually quite hard underneath. So a lot of the outsides we use them, but I think I was just speaking to Jake, and he said it's cutting in a little bit now. So hopefully it's a little bit better for race 1.
It's a wet start to the campaign for the MX2 boys, the fastest of which in qualifying was Ben Watson upon his return to the series. He was almost 2 seconds quicker than Martin Barr. Is that an indication of what is to come, not just in this race, but this season? We're about to find out. One man disappointed with his time is Mel Pocock. He's 4.5 seconds off Watson's best. However, qualifying and racing are two very different beasts. Away they go. It's a squeeze up into the first turn. Ben Watson should be the man to watch out for, but Jordan Duval may just take the whole shot. There's trouble at the back and a rider down. In fact, there could be 2 riders down. Is that Luke Norris? So, Harry Culham on the MVRD Route 77 Energy Husqvarna with a great advantage early on. It's a 5-second lead over Ben Watson, who's followed by Todd, Ratska and Eccles. Here is Culham. Watson is closing in, and that gap has been whittled right down, and the Hitachi KTM UK rider is poised to take over at the front. So Watson leads, and Culham has dropped back. However, he's still holding second place. Josiah Natska is third, and Mel Pocock now up into fourth. Here is Pocock, and a little moment for him, but still upright. Pocock has improved as this race has gone on, moving up from 9th to 4th. The checkered flag is out, and will greet Ben Watson, his first British Motocross MX2 win since the final round at Fat Cat in 2015. The first results board of the season, Michael Eccles with his best performance for some time. He will show in 6th with Brad Todd 5th and Mel Pocock 4th. Third goes to Josiah Natska. A good debut for him. Culham 2nd and Watson on top. Another of those tipped to end the year as champion is Mel Pocock. He was drafted into the Revo Husqvarna team halfway through last season and rides for them again this time. His focus is on good performances and results.
Year ahead is for me, I've been out of this championship chase for 2 years now. I had a bad injury exactly 2 years ago. So targets for me ahead of this year is to get my head down and have some solid results. I'd like to see myself back up on the podium and also winning some races. That's tough on main rivals. You've got Ben Watson, obviously he's GP rider. And then after that you've got the championship chase, which is what I call the British Championship riders. You've got, let's say, Jake Millward, Brad Todd, Todd Kellett, like there's a load. Jordan Dyval, just looking from results today. There's a load of riders here that have put a lot of effort in over the winter, and they're looking to do the same as me, so it's all heading one direction, and that's that podium chase.
The last of the riders take position ahead of the second MX2 race. The rain is still in the air, but that's not deterred a good-sized crowd from turning up today. 5-second borders up, heads down, eyes fixed on the gate, which should drop at any moment. There it is, Ben Watson on the inside, but he may get squeezed out. There's a rider down, that's Mel Pocock. Luke Norris has the whole shot, and there's another rider down. Luke Norris leading the way with Jordan Duval for company. Norris picked up a single point for finishing 20th in Moto 1. He expects better this time. Duval looks to be closing on Norris. There is a hint of a gap between the two of them. The battle for second. Duval now has Michael Eccles almost on his back wheel. Ben Watson is also there, looking menacing. Watson is indeed in second, and having left Duval and Eccles behind, he now has his sights set on Norris. Duval ended last year's campaign 12th overall. Duval's best showing was at the final round at Fat Cat, where he took a 4th place in the opening moto. There's not been the weekend Martin Barr was hoping for. 14th in race 1, but he's climbing the leaderboard this time. The first lap crash for Barr, then broken goggles didn't help his cause in the earlier moto. So, Ben Watson looking to repeat his feat of exactly 2 years ago when he won both MX2 races in the opening round of that campaign. Watson continues to lead. It's a big gap, back to 2nd place. Ben Watson's not far off from making it a double at Culham. It's Ben Watson at the double, a performance of title-winning standards. This is how that one winds up, with Mel Pocock recovering from his crash to take 10th. Early pace setter Luke Norris is 4th, with Martin Barr back at where many expect him to be. But today was all about Ben Watson. One round completed. This is how the season is shaping up. Mel Pocock is 5th, but level on points with Martin Barr, who occupies 4th. 2 solid rides for Brad Todd, put him 3rd behind Harry Cullis, but Ben Watson already has a 15-point advantage.
Obviously it's the first round, it's still early days, so my aim was to come and get 2 wins. I wouldn't have been happy with anything else really, but yeah, it's just, I'm happy with my riding and whatever, so yeah, it's a good long season, so glad to just have a consistent first round really.
The top step of the podium belongs to Ben Watson. Next though, the focus is on MX1. Poised for the opening action of the MX1 class in the opening round of the Maxxis ACU British Motocross Championship here at Culham Motor Park. First though, a quick roundup on what happened in the MXY2 class. These guys are the stars of the future. Keenan Hurd put his Craig's Kawasaki on the 2nd step of the podium, with Jake Eady surviving a crash in race 2 to take 3rd. And after following Gear 4 KTM's Jake Eady home in the opening moto, Lewis Hall clinched the overall win with victory 2nd time out. This is how the MXY2 Championship looks, with the first of 5 rounds completed. So Lewis Hall will carry the red plate at the next round of the series. Defending MX1 champion Tommy Searle is sidelined through injury this weekend, so it's a great opportunity for his rivals to steal a march. Jake Nichols finished last year's campaign 3rd overall.
Even last year the target was to win the championship, but especially it was a good season for me last year, and I was a title contender even though I came into the season a little bit on the back foot. But this year I sort of feel much stronger coming into the year. I've got a year's experience with the team and everything behind me, so yeah, that's definitely the goal. There's no one in particular to be my rivals. I don't think there's so many guys in the national championship that can go so fast on our tracks. So no one in particular. I mean, there's obviously like there's 4 or 5 guys that gave us a push last year too. But like I say, I'm not counting everyone there.
One of those who pushed last year and should be pushing again is Graham Irwin. He's committed to another year with Build-Based Honda and comes here following winter training in Sardinia. He certainly should be one to watch in the months ahead.
This year we've got a full new bike. So the bike, Honda released the new 17 just at the start of this year, and I started riding it at the end of January, so yeah, we've just been testing with that, and let's pursue. Yeah, I think every year we're getting a little bit stronger, and yeah, hopefully this is a year.
Second fastest man in qualifying this morning was Jake Nichols. 2 wins and a handful of second and third place finishes last year as the spotlight shone mainly on Simpson and Searle. Third quickest was Graham Irwin, 7/10 slower than Nichols. He finished 4th overall last year and scored consistently throughout. Can he take it up a step this time? Another to keep an eye on is Christian Watley. He lifted the MX1 title back in 2013. This year he's racing in the colours of a Pico Husqvarna. Fastest in qualifying was Elliot Banks-Brown. Can he be the man to watch at Culham today? As the gate drops and they power into the first turn. And it looks like Jamie Law with the whole shot. Robert Davidson, I think, is alongside him. A good start too for Watley. That is Rhys de Soa facing the wrong way and trying to fire that bike back up. Jamie Law setting the pace then. 7th fastest in qualifying. He actually retired from full-time racing last year, I should say, but he'll be enjoying this one. That is Kieran Banks, who stepped off his Meredith Suzuki. It's Jake Nichols who leads. He's pushed Law back into second. Just inside the top 6, Graham Irwin on the Build-Based Honda. Here is Stephen Lenoir, his 2nd season in MX1, having been crowned MX2 champ in 2015. Nichols will win the first MX1 race at Culham, and with Searle missing, that is a massive 25-point haul. This is how it finishes. Jamie Law has to settle for 9th, having led early on. Elliot Banks-Brown with a solid 3rd place behind Stephen Lenoir. But Jake Nichols is proving to be the man to beat. A 5th place finish for Christian Watley in the opening moto of the day, and a result to build on for the rest of the campaign. He had a mixed year in 2016, but the former champion says it's now time to get back to the good old days.
Just different bikes, different contract. Had the opportunity to ride the Husqvarna, so I took it with both hands really. Targets all year. I think it's going to be top 3 on the podium for all year. And obviously to become British champion again.
Away they go. Someone misjudged the gate and has been left behind. Nichols strong at the inside, so to Irwin, but it's Law to the fore again. He's the whole shot king at Culham. Jake Nichols continuing where he left off in Moto 1. Irwin in 3rd behind former double champion Brad Anderson, who's 2nd, and Harry Cullis is now up to 4th following his non-score in Moto 1. This is Brad Anderson, looking strong in the 2nd moto, but a good distance behind the race leader Nichols. The checkered flag greets Jay Nichols for the 2nd time today. Watley in 10th, not the result he was hoping for, with Law in 9th once again. Lenoir is 5th on this occasion with Cullis 4th. Irwin 3rd behind Anderson, who is 11 seconds behind the race winner, Jake Nichols. First points are on the board for 2017, and it is exactly what Jake Nichols has been dreaming of. A maximum haul of 50 points, which could be crucial, especially with defending champ Tommy Searle due to return at round 2.
Yeah, it's been a really good day. You know, can't ask for any more than that. 2 race wins. You know, the track was tough, but you know, made the most of it and got out early on. Had some really good first laps. Starts were average, but it was a little bit of the position I put myself in. But like I said, some really good first laps and just got away early and made a little like build up a little bit of gap over the first few laps, and then just kept it sensible after that. And I really enjoyed riding today, and hopefully I can carry on doing this throughout the year.
So Jake Nichols takes to the top step of the podium, which he shares with Graham Owen and Stephen Lemoire. The next round is at Ling in Norfolk.